Welcome back, everybody. My name is All Funny Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also make fun little videos here on YouTube. Let's talk about frogs for a second, as they tend to come up quite often inside of conversations about I hate frogs, why do they attack me, blah, 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 blah. And let's go a little bit further into essentially how to attack frogs. So I'm going to gather a few things, and then we're going to go into creative mode for a split second so I can make myself an actual spear. Before actually getting to attack a frog, I probably would recommend getting yourself some armor, as I showcased in previous other videos. But for the sake of this one, all I'm going to do is showcase how you probably should attack a frog before going into it. So, as I'm playing Wartox, you probably I've understood that when souls drop from your inventory, they're going to generate a healing process, essentially an AoE healing. This works for obviously any other character that's going to be attacking a frog. If you walk up to a frog, its gigantic tongue is going to come out and lick you, and all of your stuff in your inventory in the first spot going forward after that will tend to follow suit. So the more licks I have, the more twigs will fall on the ground, and yeah. So what you want to do is, let's just say, for example, I have a very important item in my first inventory spot. Let's get rid of that. So I don't want my carrot to fall on the ground. I want to put it over here. I want my twigs to be taken. What you're basically doing at this point is encouraging the frog to, whenever I decide to attack it, essentially take from my first inventory spot. So I'm going to attack the frog just naturally, and of course I'm just going to let it do its thing. 1 twig, 2 twig, 3 twig. And then if I let it go on and further than that, well, guess what? It's going to keep going on and on. Your souls will not be targeted by frogs, which is actually really good because Clay decided to do this, which actually helps any new people in Don't Starve Together. So what I want to do is keep making sure that my twigs, usually I would make sure that we have like 20 or 30 twigs or grass, whatever you end up using, are basically in the first inventory spot. Go in there and start attacking. I don't mind those things falling from my inventory, as it's easier basically to pick those up. But things such as you don't want to have dropped on the ground might be something that you obviously want to have. For example, if I have another set of armor, so let's just say I'm going and there's a bunch of frogs. So let's go back into creative mode for a second. Now I have 2 bramble husk armors. So now I have both of the armors. I'm going to equip one of them. And when the armor is actually equipped, well, guess what? I'm going to spawn a bunch of frogs in. So let's spawn in just regular old frogs. Let's do 10, because I think I can handle 10 pretty easily. Okay, so 10 frogs are now running around having a fun time. But if I put my bramble husk in the first inventory spot, chances are I'm probably still going to kill him with my armor that I have equipped, but guess what? I'm going to be limited to essentially that now being on the ground, and hopefully this bramble husk now takes on the toll of all these things. Which it will, but if there were more than these frogs specifically, we might have a hard time keeping on up with obviously staying alive. And especially if you're not playing as Wartox, it'd get even harder. So you can see why keeping a stack of grass in your first inventory is actually a better option. So if we give myself some grass, I think it has to be cut grass. So if we go like a stack of 40, for example, and then I do the spawn in of frogs all over again, and I walk up to them now I'm like, hey, I don't care, take my grass, what do I need it for? And it's a job easier said than done, and now the grass is on the ground, and all I'm doing is picking up grass instead of all of my individual items that I normally would have lost. So that is how you want to go ahead and fight some frogs. I think it's a good explanation on how to do so, but of course you want to see more in-depth videos. I do have my beginner guides on Don't Starve Together, where I showcase a year in Don't Starve. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.